Hi, hello, happy Sabbath and Shabbat Shalom. Well, I hate to say it, but it appears that I may have ended up with my grapefruit tree here getting a little too dry. I've watered it last night, and I just watered it again. Maybe it'll recover, but it's looking pretty dry. Maybe it'll recover, hopefully. We just got back from the feast, and it sat a long time without anybody watering it. And so that's kind of worrisome, but, you know, since I didn't have a watering system, it couldn't be helped. Of course, the spider plants are doing fairly good, and this avocado is still hanging on. Wandering Jews, we're doing good. That one over there doesn't have a drain, so it's still got some moisture. That little potato plant seems to be doing alright at the moment. There was a grasshopper in here, unfortunately, and it ate some of that edge of that plant, the leaves on that grapefruit. The pineapples are still growing. This thing here, it's getting so tall it doesn't even hold up its own weight. That over there had lost some leaves, but it has grown a new burst of growth, so that's neat. This thing's still, I suppose, alive. I don't know. Hard to say. And, oh look, somebody put an acorn in here. Although it's a dead acorn, it had a hole drilled in it. And then there's some cactus over here I kind of dribbled a little water on, and whatever those plants are, just to make certain they were hydrated. And I gave this some water. It looks like somebody turned it around this morning. And then my spindly pears are all seem to be doing pretty well as they multiply by dividing. Divide and conquer, divide and multiply. Anyhow, so coming over here, of course this thing here is not yet ready to open up and flower for the year, I don't suppose, but it will be soon, I'm sure. Some of these need, I don't know if they need more water than they're getting, but I suspect they might. Mother-in-law's tongues. And some of these are not doing very well. So things in the greenhouse. Mom's African violets, some of them actually put on new flowers, she says. And then while the goats had eaten the spider plants in those pots off to their stubs, they've been putting on more growth now that they're away from the goats. Some of these cactus need more water, though. Going to what's outside. Now, I don't know how many people may have. Here's your angel. Get a better view of my safety mechanism, which was just to put. She spilled a lot of feed over here, didn't she? Anyhow, so the safety mechanism was just so she could get in here and feed them without slipping and falling. She used up all my hay, so now I'm out of hay to feed them, so I've got a problem. All these babies in here are, well, she didn't do anything on it, their water's completely destroyed. I've got to dump that and refill it. They all look fat as ticks, except for maybe Daisy there, but overall they look pretty good. Hopefully, God willing, they'll be out, if Yahweh permits, they'll be out here in these fields. This field will have Mr. O'Malley and, of course, Chestnut still be here. And then we'll put Ginger and, who else was it? Candy. Candy there will go in a field with Mr. O'Malley. Then all the other girls will go in this field over here, where at the moment Gretel got put out here by the person who was supposed to be caring for my animals. She went and, I can't say she did a bad thing. Gretel's looking really great, but then after the worming and medicine and stuff, she's just looking better because she's recovering a lot. She's not as bony, she's looking a lot better. I guess it's alright for her to be in here at the moment because her quality of body, she's finally filling out some. So, I mean, she's a little bony still, but overall, he's a good girl. He's a good girl. She's still got the disease on her, though, so I don't know what to do about that yet. But this field will have all the girls that are related to Mr. O'Malley, and I'll put Mr. Snookums in with them. Now, to catch up with gardening, by the way, we came back from the feast, as seems to be the deal. A lot of people blessed us with gifts for the farm, so I won't say how much, but we got a lot of money from them. That'll help a lot. And we didn't just get gifts of money, we also got gifts of food. Got nearly a full case of apricot. We got a bunch of pasta products, spaghetti and macaroni, and we got some kinds of marinated barley, or not, or whatever. What is it? Anyhow, barley that's theoretically germinatable. And then we got some lentils. Hopefully they're germinatable. And we got some canned chicken, and we got some other food products, peanut butter, canned salmon, like this stuff here. So we came back with a lot of things that were given to us on the way home. We were hoping for some more rain than we got, but while we were gone, but it didn't happen. So the yarrows are doing quite well. Apparently somebody ran water in there and flooded that a little bit, but it's still doing okay. But we've got cucumbers coming up. They're not as far along as I thought they'd be, ironically. I thought they'd be bigger over a 10-day period of time. Apparently somebody didn't leave the hose in here. And you can say, well, it's not in there now. Well, no, it's not, because these tomatoes over here were dying. I mean, this one right here at the very corner was so dry it was just doing really badly. So I had to water these. And even then, this thing isn't set to run very fast right now. So it's kind of, and it gets out of whack every now and then. You got to do like that to it to get it to. So probably it needs to really run a while on here to really hydrate these. Could put some more water in here. There's another, where is it? Right there, another cucumber there. I'm going to give them a couple days. While it's a Sabbath, I'm not going to pick them today anyhow. Look at all the cherry tomatoes. Oh, one fell off in my hand. Loads of them that have beaten, the squirrels didn't eat them somehow, and so now I've got, I don't know if it's because I dusted them with the 7 dust or what, but I've got cherry tomatoes just literally all over the place. There were some on the ground even. Musky, not a sweet tomato, but not bad. Not bad at all. So I got loads and loads and loads of tomatoes coming up. There's some of those bigger tomatoes that were from the came after. There's another big tomato right there. So it's got 3 on it on that side, and I think it's got one over inside of it too still. Yeah, so it's got 4 tomatoes. Right there's another. Oh, it's not making tomatoes hand over fist, but it's making tomatoes, so that's better than nothing. Again, for Mom and I, who are not master gardeners, in fact, we're scarcely even qualified as novice gardeners, this thing has, somewhere, I thought, Maybe I was mistaken. Thought I saw, okay, yeah, here's I believe, unless that's a cross-pollination. It looks like a big tomato, but it looks like it's coming, unless this is a plant growing around in a circle, like starting over here, going over here, coming around and coming back. Some of these look like they're from the bigger vine. These over here are distinctly from this. Where is that again? There's a couple right there. Pretty sure, unless they're all being hybridized by bees. I don't know. The Roma has quite a few tomatoes set on it, so more than I could count in a minute. There's probably 20, 30 tomatoes on there by now. I don't know. Very happy for it, for the abundance of tomatoes. They'll get eaten or cooked and then canned. More yarrow over here that has proven to be a very rugged, durable, easy to transplant herb. So, and they verified, yes, it is for a fact yarrow. So I'm kind of glad to know that. And look at all the, well, get grasshoppers on this thing. Look at all the bright, cheerful pepper flowers in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and I got 1, 2 fruit. Oh, 19 flowers, 20, 21 flowers. So, and on that one, this one's got, on its new regrowth, it's got flowers that are coming up. I can't get to them all right there. Doesn't look like the strawberry flowers on here. Oh, okay, there's some fruit. Let me see if I can go back on this. Yeah, there's a strawberry fruit. So it's kind of recovering. Need more. These will need more soil soon because the hay is composting down and it's taking up. It's kind of shrinking down. So I'll have to just sprinkle a little soil on the top and let them keep working their way through it. So our little experimental gardens over here are doing okay. We're having loads of tomatoes. Tomorrow I'm going to be picking loads of tomatoes. And I think I mentioned before my last report that, to my surprise, the elderly blackberry is still alive. And even though it's had the tip bitten off of it, it's still got growth on it. So I'm very encouraged about that. Unfortunately, though, the sad case is that the same cannot be said for the one I repotted into the ground. And we'll go take a look at it because, well, that way you'll know you're not just taking my word for it, because you know that sadly I'm having to lament the loss of it. I could just say, well, I'll never see it again, and not film it per se, but we'll just go ahead and verify that despite all my best efforts, I may have not been the best efforts that it needed. So I say my best efforts may not have been the best efforts, and that wouldn't surprise me because, again, a lot of these things I don't know. But Yahweh willing, eventually I will learn how to make plants grow and not end up making them die. As a side note, that little flower bush in there seems to have recovered from whatever has been killing that. I don't want to aim that up at the sun now that I'm here, but whatever was making that Shelly bark hickory lose leaves down as far as it did has not adversely affected that flower bush that I still don't know the name of, so bad that it hasn't recovered. So it's still got leaves on it there. So again, I've got it in a cage because the goats will literally eat it off to the ground if they get to it. And the billy goats can get in there. The boys, big boys, can get in there and get to it if I don't have an armored cage around it. So it'll be there until I can move it, and therefore it's got to be under armor until I can be safely put somewhere that I can keep them. Even then, it'll probably still have to be under armor because they like it so much as food. They love it to death. Well, so this project turned out to be a flop. It has completely shriveled up and died, and it is dead down to the stem, down to the root. Unless there's more, I say down to the root. Doesn't mean that the root itself is dead. I don't know. But I'm not going to pull it up just in case the root itself is in fact still alive. I don't know. But everything above ground is already done for. And I don't see any signs that it's growing new growth, which they usually do before they cut off one vine. They usually, the other one comes back. If this thing got knocked over and it still hasn't died because it's got enough root to it, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but for now I'm going to leave it where it's at. If you've ever seen one of these before, I've been told these are the egg sacs of praying mantises. And so I am happy to leave those right where they're at, because praying mantises are beneficial, obviously. All the flowers up here have thoroughly finished blooming for the whole year, so I ain't worried about that. I say all the flowers, all the tame flowers. There are wildflowers through here that are blooming right now. They're not exactly the brilliant, colorful flowers like the asters. And there's some asters right there. And then these are blooming, whatever they are. I think the boys came along and picked most of the asters off though. Ate them off to the ground. So only a little bit of them survives. These sunflowers over here have some hangers on. And a waxweed, like that waxweed right there, seems to be still going along. And so just a few stray flowers, nothing noteworthy. I walked up there, the boys made a path across there. There's still a lot of bee balm in there. Of course, if you look, there's also still some onions growing around there. I don't know that any of the elephant garlic's still alive. And in fact, if you look, some of that one sunflower is coming back from the ground, from the stump of a previously expired upper shaft, like it decided it's going to go another round. Who knows? Oh, it could be that thing I call second spring, where the cycles are just right. See, here's an aster they haven't gotten to yet very well, because they haven't gotten right up next to the shop, which is good, in my opinion. And my little pecan, which I don't know what to do with yet, but I gotta put it somewhere. It's gonna need to be put in the ground someday, just not sure where and under what conditions. So it's probably gonna overwinter in the greenhouse, and then in the spring we'll try to find a place for it. Oh yeah, here's some full-size asters over here growing through this cage that nothing can get to. Yeah. Only because of the fact that the goats can't reach them. I believe I officially have the oldest tadpoles in the world. If you can get one before they bolt. It's kind of hard to film them when they're running away from you. There's one underneath that leaf. But yeah, these tadpoles came in the early spring and they're still in here. I think I'm going to tell the university about them so they can. You want some free oldest tadpoles in the world to study? I've got some that are absolutely over 6 months old. Just so that, you know, they might be novel for research. And, you know, because I can't transport them alive. They'd probably die if I tried to drive them over there. So, if you want them, it'd be up to you to come get them. Anyhow, so that's it. Nothing in here has been changed. And so that's pretty much everything that's everything. Nothing really work has been done because it was gone. And so, yeah, it's no big deal. Well, we'll see next week if I get under this steel right here in particular, because that's going to be for my fence mounting project, and I'm going to probably be digging up some of those heavy steel pipes there for corner posts, stuff like that. So hopefully big changes will be on the horizon and delivered. We shall see. So in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sabbath. Shalom, and everybody have a peaceful and blessed time with their family and with their God, Yahweh. Bye.